What's the dumbest rule your school ever enforced? My school had 3 staircases along a very long corridor. We were banned from using the middle staircase because it got overcrowded. The ban was lifted once they realized it only made the other 2 staircases just as crowded. I got Saturday school for missing a day of classes when I was 16. Seems reasonable, except I missed to go complete my US citizenship and officially become a citizen alongside my mom. It took us 12 years to go through the legal process, BTW. Whole other issue. I had a note from my mother as well as a signed official federal form they give you to explain to school/employers why you were absent. Apparently, the only acceptable absence excuse was illness. I got punished for becoming a citizen. Elementary school principal banned talking at lunch. If you were caught talking or even signing to someone, you had to go sit by yourself on a folding chair with no table. There was once my mom came to eat lunch with my older sister and I. The principal was like, "Oh, you should go eat out in the hallway with your daughters," and she was like, "Nah, I'm gonna sit here with my daughter and her friends and talk to them and enjoy their presence." Usually if a parent came for lunch, the student could invite one friend to join unless you had siblings. Then it was too many people, so you couldn't invite a friend. Anyway, one of my older sister's friends whispered to my mom that she was going to move so she wouldn't get in trouble for talking. This was a 9-year-old. That bullying rule sounds exactly like my old secondary school. Their policy was don't retaliate, just tell a teacher. I remember one time I had a cover lesson in the main hall and for reasons unknown the chief bully decided it was my turn to be in the spotlight. As we went in, he informed me that as soon as class ended he was going to punch me in the face. Being the scared, bullied kid I was, I went straight to the teacher and asked if I could be excused a couple of minutes early to get to my next class whilst avoiding a fist in the face, which the teacher ignored. End of class, I was punched as expected in front of said teacher. My mother was not amused in the least. I didn't find out until years later that she had been down to the school outside of hours berating various teachers for their abysmal efforts to combat the bullying, which did eventually die off. TLDR, schools absolutely suck at combating bullying. My mother is awesome. If we didn't see it happen, it didn't happen. All it did was train bullies to be really good at keeping their voices down and being aware of their surroundings so they could avoid doing shit within a teacher's line of sight. It meant if you were ever outside of a teacher's vision range you were still fair game for heaps of abuse, and if you tried to report things that teachers didn't see then the teachers treated you like you were making up bullshit. It also didn't stop teachers from enforcing double standards, like believing reports from their personal favorites even when they didn't see it happen, since they could just claim they saw it happen if it was contested. That school was basically a training facility to turn bullies into stealth experts. Went to school during the time where health and safety suddenly started going crazy. They introduced a no contact under any circumstances rule. No touching another person. We were like 6 or 7 years old. Suddenly one day not only is tag suddenly illegal, but they actually enforced it. I remember one day like 70% of the school's population was pulled off of the playground and made to sit on the floor in the hall for the crime of just playing the games that children play. I remember in 4th grade me and my friends would play tag every day during recess, but one day they made touching other people illegal because someone could get hurt. Our whole outside area had that playground padding. Everyone still played tag anyways, so they eventually got rid of the rule. In elementary school, I literally got chased by a group of about 10 to 15 kids because we were playing Kill the Carrier and I absolutely destroyed one of their friends, so for some reason they decided the game didn't matter at that moment and that they'd all try to fight me. So all I did was run away and head into the school to tell a teacher, and the principal had the audacity to give me their form of detention, no recess, for 5 days straight, along with all of the other kids. I remember hearing my dad yelling at the principal since this was like the 4th time I got in trouble for simply defending myself or escaping conflict. Years later I found out he actually cursed her out and she was standing there in shock. Rule: no duct tape on clothing. Reason: some girls thought they could get past the no ripped jeans rule by covering the tears with duct tape. It became a fad and everyone started doing it, so it got banned. A kid in my AP literature class found a loophole and made an entire outfit out of red and black duct tape. I mean shorts, a t-shirt and a jacket and shoes. When the school tried to suspend him they couldn't because the rule was no duct tape on clothes. It said nothing about clothes made out of duct tape. He won the argument and even wore the outfit a few more times to say fuck you to the school and principals. LOL.edit. This is as popular as I'll ever be. Take that, Principal Conrad. Really though, to answer a regularly asked question, ripped jeans were an issue because they made the school look trashy, not cause they showed skin. However, there were many other rules to enforce no excessive skin be shown. We would get suspended for rips in our clothes and also for duct tape on clothes, both for the same reason. It was trashy, LMAO. When I was in junior school, UK boarding school in the 80s, we were not allowed to say okay as it was considered slang and not befitting the young ladies and gentlemen that we should aspire to be. For context, junior school covered ages 5-13. We also had to have a comb and a handkerchief on us at all times. On top of that, we weren't allowed to have our hands in our pockets because it looks slovenly. If you were caught on your phone, they'd take it until the end of the week. You'd get it back at 3:30 on Friday. Parents went mental and a few even came together and sent bills through for part of the phone bills. They ditched that rule after 2 weeks. Edit, phones were kept overnight in the school and the office until that Friday if they were confiscated. No safe or anything, just in a plastic box. No getting it back at the end of the day, you just had to go for days without a phone, even at home. Just in case there's any confusion around that, lol. Girls must have a male escort them to prom as their date. If your date bails, you can't enter. We were an all-girls school. Many of us had 0 guy friends. Finding dates was hard. I remember one year a girl's boyfriend dumped her when everyone was starting to show up for photos. She showed up at the venue, mascara running, begging the principal to let her go in. Principal wouldn't let her. One of the senior homeroom teachers ended up calling her nephew and said, "I need you to put on your suit and get here ASAP." He showed up with flowers and everything. So it was salvageable but totally avoidable. The worst part? It wasn't always a rule until one year a group of girls went as friends and kept stealing other people's dates. Way to punish everyone forever because of one group of bitches. Had the same professor for 3 different classes that did basically this. He would shut the door and pull the window shade down as soon as the clock struck whatever time the class started. Anyone that came in after that, he would write their name down and mark them late. 3 lates and your grade would be dropped a whole letter grade, from an A to B, C to D, etc. It was a stupid rule because my college campus was very spread out, so if you were someone that had back-to-back classes all over campus, you would almost guaranteed to be late. I'm pretty sure he was forced to stop doing that because there was a semester where half the class was failing just because they were late one too many times. My primary school had this weird obsession with safety. When we played dodgeball, the boys had to throw with their non-dominant hand while the girls got to throw full force. And we could get detention for going where the teachers couldn't see us. But the worst rule by far was that we weren't allowed to run on the playground. I'll never forget the time my teacher literally said, "The playground is no place to run. You could only go to the bathroom twice a day, once in the morning and once in the afternoon." Mind you, this is from 8 to 3 and you had to get a new pass every week and keep it the whole time or you couldn't use the bathroom. Edit, this was pre-K 8th grade. We actually had a dealer who would make fake passes so they had to start color coding them. They got rid of this rule a month before I graduated, straight face. Edit 2, my new high school has a just go policy and they have no issues. I'm loving it, lol. Edit 3, lol, they actually encourage drinking water, at least half your body weight crap, and would have times to drink water from the many water fountains. The hypocrisy, you could only go to the bathroom twice a day, once in the morning and once in the afternoon. Mind you, this is from 8 to 3 and you had to get a new pass every week and keep it the whole time or you couldn't use the bathroom. Edit, this was pre-K 8th grade. We actually had a dealer who would make fake passes so they had to start color coding them. They got rid of this rule a month before I graduated, straight face. Edit 2, my new high school has a just go policy and they have no issues. I'm loving it, lol. Edit 3, lol, they actually encourage drinking water, at least half your body weight crap, and would have times to drink water from the many water fountains. The hypocrisy, L. It was a year-long battle. It showed that the administration wasn't all that smart in wording rules. First was no gang clothing. Not one person admitted it was for a gang. People just happened to like a certain team. Second was no hats, unless religious. You would have never guessed that so many became religious overnight. Finally, no head coverings. That one finally stuck, but it wasn't without issue. Try telling the valedictorian that her head covering wasn't allowed. P.S. Everyone liked her, and we all had her back when it came time.